Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, a veteran in this channel, welcome back for yet another exciting episode of Risk, Money and Insurance. And so today I just want to say, first of all, I apologize for not releasing a video last week. Last week was just another week from somewhere else. I wasn't feeling well, so the footage was there, but it was not edited, so I couldn't release it. And then when I tried to actually release, edit this video, this week's video, the video that you're watching, I realized that there are some footages that are missing. We did have a technical glitch when we were recording on the day. I did try to piece together whatever that was left of the original footage, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this video. So now moving on to the video itself, I will just allow my guest to just introduce himself.
Hi everybody, my name is Nkateko Gavina Manganye, and I'm excited to be here, and hopefully we can get some conversation going.
Yes.
That's all. I guess if there's anything else you guys want to know, she will ask me, but yeah, that's it.
Okay. So now you've introduced yourself, we want to know, what do you do?
Okay.
Yes.
So I work in the policy space. I basically qualified, I don't know if there's qualification for economists, but I studied economics.
Okay.
Up until master's level, and I did a bit of work in corporate investment banking for the early stages of my career.
Okay.
And then I just pivoted into the policy space because that's ultimately what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So that's what I do currently. But specifically looking at financial markets and how they trickle down into the rest of the macro. Are you going to tell them the camera cut?
No.
Okay.
I think we can just
Continue.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you another question.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you are allowed to answer this one,
Yeah.
but can we expect future interest rate hikes? Yeah.
Look, I think the central banks around the world are hiking interest rates because they see risks of inflation.
Okay.
In recent months, more especially for the developed economies, we started to see inflation coming down from around November last year.
Yeah.
The readings that we've seen for January as well were showing numbers coming down. For South Africa as well, inflation has been coming down. So generally there's a trend of inflation starting to decelerate. And that's because, those interest rate hikes to some extent are starting to work.
Yeah.
So whether interest rate will still be, hiked in the next few months or not, that is in the discretion of different monetary policy committees that are there. And for them, what they want to see is that inflation is coming down sufficiently and also in a sustained manner.
Okay.
Right? So it is coming down as close enough to target or around target, within target or below target, but also for a sustained period of time.
Yeah.
And if according to the data and the matrix that they look at, if that's what they see, yeah, sure, we might start to see, them either holding interest rates, which means that they stop hiking, or cutting down interest rates. I do think that there are other risks that might be coming up in this year, such as the recession, which might necessitate a reverse in interest rates. But also that is not it's not set in stone. It's not something that I can come and oh no, I expect them to do it. It's based on what they see, what are some of the risks that are lingering, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe brace yourself, maybe not.
Yeah, it depends.
It depends.
Can go either way, guys.
It literally can.
Honestly,
it
go
literally
either way.
can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
we also speak about like unconventional ways to control inflation, right? Besides just like hiking interest rates, what are other ways, unconventional ways that we can we can use to keep inflation in control?
I mean,
and why are we not using those?
I mean, if the conventional way works, why do you want to go for the alternative?
Okay.
No,
the alternative hurts, I guess.
But I mean, it's like there's always trade-offs, right? There's always trade-offs in whatever needs to happen. It's like you're paying the short-term price for longer-term benefits.
Yeah.
And I think in economics they talk about policy coordination, and that basically means that if there are two policies, which is the monetary policy and the fiscal policy, each policy should work hand in hand to achieve some level of success in the economy. Okay. So the monetary needs to deal specifically with price stability, while the fiscal needs to deal with growth. Yeah. So we do need the fiscal side to start pulling up the weight, the weight, and try to see some growth coming through, and that could be done through different initiatives, of course. And I think the government is doing something about it. It's almost about the policy direction that needs to be taken. It was really tough for South Africa because we got into COVID while the economy was not doing well, so that exacerbated the position in which we were. And then you're like, okay, I came in with a plan to make this country great. Now we need to survive. What exactly do we put in place for the survival? So I think there is interest rates are obviously the main instrument to look at for price stability, and they are the easier and the fastest, or the direct kind of they have a direct kind of transmission mechanism into the rest of the economy, because they deal with the core of consumption. They deal with the core of economic activity and investments and all of those things. Okay. So I think interest rates are it. And but the other ways, this is how I always build my ideologies. Which economists like to debate, and they might disagree. But we always talk about that people are rational. Right, which is not true.
We're not.
But we make the assumption that they are, that human beings are rational, and if human beings are rational, and they know that what causes inflation, or what might be causing, or just increasing the pressure on inflation, is demand. Why can't they stop the demand?
Okay.
Why can't you decrease the demand? Because if you decrease the demand, then that affects the price directly. It is maybe a simplistic way of saying it, but for me, that's how I look at it. If let's go back to COVID. The price of ginger was
insane.
Crazy.
Sanitizers as well.
But with sanitizers, I don't think it was even I think people were just trying to make a quick buck. It was not even a supply issue. But with ginger, is that you have a limited unit of ginger to sell. But you have so many people who want to buy this ginger because it is said to help with your respiratory kind of problems during COVID. So because you have few units of ginger to sell, the price of ginger has to be expensive to exclude some. It's okay. Maybe when I say to exclude, it makes it sound political, but it's not that. But that's the result, right? Different people can afford a certain, they could afford a kg because it was 100 and something. Not very few people could afford that, or were willing, rather. Let's not even say afford, because you can have the money, but your willingness to pay that much money on ginger was not there. You get what I mean? So what happened for if people wanted, I guess during that time it was like almost a survival thing, so people felt they needed ginger.
Yeah.
But for things that you don't need, for instance, where you can stop driving your own car, do carpooling, use Ubers, do all of this, use public transport, that can actually take down transport inflation. But people don't make such adjustments. But again, it's also that thing of like, if it's just few people are doing it, you might not be able to see the difference. But if people were rational, when you're doing game theory, and you there's an assumption that everyone is rational, you settle where both of you have some kind of level of utility. But that's not how the real world works. Because no, I want to drive my car.
I want to be comfortable.
I want to be comfortable. People say fuel is going up, but they won't stop driving their cars. Not even decrease the number of trips that they do on a week.
Yeah, true.
So
still taking
that would
trips.
So that would be the other side, that just stop spending. If it's a demand side though, if it's a demand side inflation. But if it's supply side, it's more challenging, and more especially if part of it it's like more imported inflation. That is not necessarily generated here, but generated because we are trading with other countries. That is the easiest way, indirect way, is just interest rates, in my opinion.
In your opinion, let's mark that. So as a bonus question for the people at home, right? Assuming there are future hikes, how can they prepare themselves for those? I know you're not like a financial advisor or anything, but in your opinion, knowing economics and all of that, how can they prepare for future hikes?
So for me is, if you're thinking of buying a house, buy now.
Okay.
If you think of buying a house, buy now. You don't wait for interest rates to come down. If you're thinking of building, of having a big expenditure, do it now. But what that does is that it gives you the true sense of your affordability.
True.
So as much as I don't know whether interest rates will continue to increase or come down, I do know when reading that we are nearing the end of this hiking cycle. Right. So you can make your decisions to buy big asset now, because then you can say that, bond at 10.25 prime. I don't know what prime is now, because
10.75.
Is it 10.75? Yeah, 10.75. At what prime is, plus a markup of 3%, is 13 point whatever percent, right? You're like, okay, that says that I'm paying about 7,000 on my installment for the bond, right? Worst case scenario, add 50 basis points to that, right? And then best case, remove 50. So you have this kind of band. And this is an exercise you don't need in the finance or accounting degree to do, right?
And there are also calculators online.
Don't be that person. But you don't. It's not things that you need a financial advisor or banker to help you with. It's say when a banker gives you an offer and say, okay, we can approve your bond at 13.5%. And this is how long you'll be paying. These are the terms. Blah 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 blah. You'll be to yourself, okay, so 13.75. Let's say it comes back. I'm working on very random numbers. It comes to 7.5. 7.5 thousand a month, right? Your house installment, or what you're being afforded, they say, okay, you pay 7.5. On your installment. You must again do that best case, worst case scenario. Best case, okay, it can go up to 2.5. Are you comfortable with that? Yes or no? Okay. If you're comfortable, then that's the first point of departure, right? And these are the things that we Black people are not taught. True. Because the reason we're not taught is because most of us, our parents built their houses.
Yeah, true.
Not from financing from a bank.
From a bank,
They,
yeah.
it's better they take 5 years, but also it's because for the kind of house they wanted to build,
Yeah.
they probably did not qualify,
Yeah.
right? So they built their houses. Might have built our house back at home from scratch, right? So we don't have like people who have this knowledge to pass it down.
Yeah.
While our counterparts might have like a family with properties, you get what I mean? So they understand how these things work. So you want to be at a place where you measure your affordability not on your approval at the bank.
Yeah.
Not for them to say you qualify for a million rand bond. It has to be I qualify for a million rand bond, but I can also I could actually even get a 1.5 million rand bond. But I'm going for 1 million. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how you would measure affordability, because when these like business cycles happen in the economy, and then you get like a movement of these macroeconomic variables, you're not put in a position that is compromising to you. You don't have to make a lot of adjustments, a lot of lifestyle changes and stuff. But then another truth is that also prioritizing is also a good thing. I think prioritize what you need to do, and first things first, you can get rid of a car in this day and age.
Yeah, you can.
If it's really, really like working,
hectic,
hectic on you, you can really get rid of a car. Another thing that I used to like to say was that I like the fact that I don't have a car and I don't have a house, but I could get one if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I love being in that place. For me, it doesn't. I don't feel ashamed because I'm like I could.
Yeah, I could.
You get what I mean? You get what I mean? So like I don't feel ashamed. So you should not feel ashamed if you have to let go of certain things. It doesn't say anything about you.
Yeah, true.
It doesn't. No, it really.
I'm reminded of a meme I saw on, I think it was Cheetah, where they were saying our parents don't have, our parents only have one problem.
Yeah.
Abantu bazothini, that's their problem. Yeah. So I feel like we should just free ourselves from that. Like,
no, honestly.
What will people say should be the last, not even on your list.
Inside, when you are good, guys, like internally, if you are good, I think that's the most important thing. You know your plans, you know what you want to do, and you have a plan of how you're going to work towards those things. Do not mind what people say. So you might need to do some readjustments because, obviously the economy right now is a bit tough.
Yeah, it is.
But again, you are the one who makes the decision. I used to cut my hair because of convenience. I used to cut my hair at the mall here in Rosebank at the salon, and a very basic haircut is 180 rand. In Bram, because I studied in Bram, just at the doorstep of Wits, I used to cut my hair there, and I think at the time when I was still there, it was probably 30 rand or something like that. And I went recently, and it was 50 rand. 180
versus
50 rand. Same job is done.
Yeah. Sometimes a better job is done.
And you don't remember. So with economies, you have to consider your expenditure in baskets and not individually. Because if you look at 180, you're like, but 70 rand doesn't make a difference. But when it's 70 rand from haircuts, and then another thing from the weave, another thing to the nails. Okay, sorry girls, and another thing you get what I mean? But like. Combine all those residual values. When you add them together, it can get to 500, it can get to 1,000, which should buy you electricity or whatever the case
and now
is.
Eskom is hiking the prices,
so we should get you electricity or something. So make adjustments. Start with the small things, but if it's really tough, go to the big things. Get rid of the car if you need to get rid of the car. It's really about you prioritizing yourself, because remember another thing, what happens when money is involved and you're really struggling to make ends meet is that it affects you as an individual as well.
It does.
So
marriages as well.
It affects marriages as well. I've had a lot of stories. I don't want to talk about people's business, but I've had a lot of stories of where the husband is just like, can we downgrade? And the wife was like, no, what will my friends think?
Yeah, what will people say? Our biggest problem, the biggest killer in our community.
So yeah, interest rates might remain elevated or not.
Yeah.
But again, central banks will need to do what central banks need to do.
Yeah.
You need to do what you need to do to survive.
True.
But like any cycle, it turns.
Yeah.
So not all hope is lost.
Tough times might not last that long. There's hope.
But you are a tough person. You will.
Tough person. We are getting weak every day with this economy. It's getting weak. The bag is fumbling.
You know the last thing that I actually was thinking about, when people always like mention South African problems and how salaries don't grow and all of that. They're like, yo, I want to move abroad. Like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, because, I mean, if your salary is increasing, but like the standard of living is also ridiculous, then how much are you actually saving?
You actually need to always look at these things not in nominal terms.
Yeah.
So don't just look at the value of the money that you're getting, because when you start considering living in those spaces, it actually becomes expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not discouraging
people going abroad
if that's what they want to do. I'm just saying that you cannot make such decisions because of. I think we are a good country.
No.
I think we have
people who live abroad say that a lot.
No, we are a good country.
Overall.
We have a lot of potential, but we probably need to get our hands dirty as well. Get involved in issues of this economy. Try build and not like work against it.
True.
And it can become something. And I think because of my patriotism, I also like don't have like very big desires to like live outside. I mean, usually if I do, it would be like for short-term improvement, whether through education or whatever other opportunities. But like ultimately, I always see home is here because whatever skill that I've learned and accumulated over the years needs to work for this country.
No, true.
Yeah,
definitely. I agree.
Yeah.
I was just reminded there was that thing where they compared prices in South Africa, like Checkers prices in South Africa and the UK.
And then Woolies.
Yeah, girls. I was like, okay, we are a good country overall. Let's just relax
Woolies.
Sit down.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
For sharing, your wisdom with us. You always have to say wisdom. It is wisdom, your nuggets of wisdom. I truly, truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
So now this is the time you can plug yourself. Where can people like follow
officially
you? Officially plug yourself. Where can people like find you? How do they interact with you?
No, thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course.
I think this was quite interesting. I had never done it before.
So I'm your favorite.
Never done it before. So I will coach you in the speech when I accept awards. She gave me my first opportunity.
Please make sure my name is there. I have to get the recognition,
So thank you. I really appreciate it. It was really a great conversation, and I mean, I just hope that people can see how accessible economics is to them, and how practical it can be, and how you can actually make decisions based on the little knowledge,
the basic stuff,
that you get. But so I run Think Economics, and that is a non-profit policy organization that is focused. It's very Pan-African. We basically we have a mandate to build future economic policy thinkers.
Okay.
So these are people that we see being in spaces of influence in the near future, influencing policy in different governments across the African region.
Okay.
So so in order to I've quoted Think Economics a couple of times, but in order to get, hold of us, we are on www.thinkglobal.com. 365.org.
Yeah.
You remember? .org, yeah. And then we're also on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
Think Economics, and Twitter as well. It's at Think Global 365.
Yeah.
And yeah, right now one of the biggest projects that we're working on that we are looking at people to like get involved in, we're trying to build a policy tracker for a couple of African countries. We want to start with a very small group so that it's easy for us to manage. And the policy tracker is really about highlighting important policies that different governments are actually working towards, or those or have in the pipeline, and then basically we're just going to track their implementation and their progress and where they are in it, and then give some commentary around that, because we think it's really important. It's one thing to listen to a budget speech that talks about doing certain things, and not write it and have it somewhere where you can track it, because you forget, right?
Yeah, true.
So it's important for us to have it down so that at the end of the year, or the performance period, we're able to say, oh, government say they're going to do this. How far are they? Are they where they're supposed to do? How do, are they where they're supposed to be? And if they're not, how do we hold them accountable for it? So, or how do we suggest ways of better implementation of those policies? Because again, we are an organization that wants to build and not to criticize. So even when we are critical on
the side, and not do anything.
So even when we will critically engage on certain things, at the end is to actually solution those things that we are identifying. So get hold of us. Personally, not very active this year. Let me say this part of the year, I'm not very active in social media. So I'm not really there, so that's okay.
So they'll just go to those social media pages.
Like on LinkedIn you can connect with me, because I check LinkedIn frequently because of work and other projects that I run. So my name is Governor.
Governor.
Yes, Governor. I have to emphasize, because there was someone who used to call me Governor at work, and I was like, sir, please.
I have a thing with people who get my name wrong as well. I'm just like, I have a thing for people who like get my name wrong. I'm just like,
but also it's like
on the email sometimes.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
So I think I tend to be forgiving.
I think I'm no longer forgiving.
Really?
I'm way beyond forgiving. I'm just like, get my name right, please.
So Governor Mangai. I'm on LinkedIn and I'm quite active there. So let's connect. Whether for this like Think Economic stuff or for whatever other thing that you want to connect for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Why are you giving me those?
No. I'm just laughing because when people say let's connect for work or whatever other thing, I'm like, okay, are people allowed to shoot their shots? If that's
on LinkedIn.
People do, eh?
Not on LinkedIn.
People do.
On LinkedIn.
You'll be shocked.
Yeah, LinkedIn is about opportunities, guys.
Oh,
it's really.
But that's also an opportunity.
What opportunity? It's about professional opportunities.
Okay. If you put it that way, it's okay. It's okay. We'll roll with that.
Also giving people ideas.
Okay.
You are giving people ideas.
Not. People are already using LinkedIn for their own ideas and opportunities.
Are you one of them?
Oh no! No, I'm not. I'm not one of those people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's my name on LinkedIn, and hopefully I can connect with more people.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you for coming, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.